Greetings everyone, it's Wednesday the 24th of February 2016. This is Alt Lexington reporting for Meriki Revenge. I've had a good night's sleep since my last video, and we're about to play the second episode of 6 episodes in the Romulan mystery story arc. I'm using my new Tier 6 Chaos War battlecruiser called Tinkerbell 5, and the mastery is only just begun. The statistics aren't that good so far. Brilliant power transfer rate and power levels. So-so hull repair rate, so-so shield regeneration, not very good shields, so-so resists, and so-so of everything else really. There's the ship. Can't really see it with that prompt in the way. So let's go into the Romulan mystery story arc and select the second episode called Mine Enemy. Reports of illegal weapon use on whatever that says lead you to evidence of greater atrocities. Excuse me for being a bit sniffly, and you should know I've got beer. So this episode, I've only just started having a drink, so if I make more videos today of the remaining episodes, then it should slowly get worse throughout the day. Anyway, let's hail this episode and see what Commander Temek has to say. I believe it's Commander Temek, or is it Admiral or something? Anyway, let's see what Temek has to say.
Intelligence has decoded the list of Romulan targets that you recovered from the vault. I want you to infiltrate one of these targets and determine why Obisek would attack it.
The vault was the previous episode.
Is still technically part of the Romulan
Hifar
Empire, but Ferengi speculators have moved in, and the Empress has done nothing to remove them. The big-eared little money grubbers have reopened their mines and are now doing business with anyone with latinum. You will go to the Vahar system under the pretense of negotiating a trade deal for the Empire. Talk to Madron, the operator of the mines. Convince him to allow you access. Find out all you can. Once we know why Obisek and the Remans are targeting these mines, then we will know how to proceed.
Ah, so I remember this episode from previous characters. Go to the Hifar system, which is located in the Pi Valorum sector block, Psi Valorum or Pi Valorum, and investigate the mine targeted by the Remans. You will receive the following reward: skill points, expertise, dilithium ore, and a Horta hatchling non-combat pet. Something to follow me around in the social hubs. So let's accept. Exit. And go to the Hifar system to confront a Ferengi called Mandran or Mandrin. So exit Cronus system and begin episode 2 of the Romulan mystery story arc. Called Mine Enemy. Just get into position so we can find out where this episode begins, which is all the way over there. So let's hit auto navigation to get into position. Ooh, complicated back routes out of Cronus system. Flight paths not commonplace. And we've got slipstream drive at last. And if you remember from the previous episode, the Vault, if you watch that video, we got 50 Scorpion fighters to help, consumed on use of course. So once they're gone, they're gone. That's if we get to use them, because if memory serves, this episode is a ground mission. Obviously, slipstream drive doesn't last for long, because I haven't paid any attention to slipstream enhancements, and probably because I'm only level 50 so far. Oh, we're just passing by the Iconian gateway that leads to the Dyson sphere, or at least one of them. Yep, we have a fleet spire at the Dyson sphere. Anyway, here we are at the Hifar system. Let's see if we can find the prompt to start the mission. There we go. Stop here for a moment and read this. The unusual gravitational harmonics of the planetoids of the Hifar system are believed to be due to the elongated elliptical orbit of Hifar 2. However, Federation researchers in the system have recently detected something that could be dark matter nebula. Could be a dark matter nebula? The presence of an anomaly of that type could be affecting the harmonics of all the planetoids. The Federation Science Council is constructing a Metreon fountain on Hifar 1 in an effort to learn more about the nebula. Yes, but we're not going to Hifar 1. We're going to see that Ferengi in his mining community. Begin Episode 2 of the Romulan story arc, Mine Enemy. And watch it load and probably patch while I drink my beer. Yep, I like a drink from time to time. Captain, the Remans were targeting a magnesite mine in this area, but the list we recovered didn't have its exact coordinates. I know we're in the right area, but all the moons in this system are inhabited and our sensors are being affected by the magnesite. We will need to contact each moon to try to determine which one the Remans were actually targeting. Find the magnesite moon. Continue. Well, before we do that, we can scan that hydrazine gas. My ship shows up quite nice here, or it did when we first entered. So let's put on a little bit of impulse. Not too much, we don't want to overshoot while we scan this. This hydrazine gas for R&D materials to help with R&D projects that will come up later when I unlock them. Stop there and scan and use the arrow keys. And take 5 canisters of hydrazine gas. There's a moon here to check. Hail Moon Tirilahuliluhu. Well, that's not exactly English. It looks more like Romulan. So let's hail that moon. Milani Dian and her minions may have sworn fealty to the Klingon Empire, but we did not. I bend knee for no one. Leave now or be destroyed. Well, I kind of got the point when they were firing at me and not giving me a chance to listen to the message before responding with my own weapons fire. But they were stupid to take on a tier 6 Kalos war battle cruiser. Idiots. Now let's go and scan this gas. I didn't even switch on my weapon system efficiency, which I'll do now. I'm not sure if it works in single player missions or if it's just a fleet thing, a team match thing, but who cares? I'm not in it to know everything, I'm in it just to have fun. Scan more hydrazine gas, and then you notice the ship doesn't stop on a dime. Slows to a halt. Use the arrow keys. And collect 5 more canisters of gas. Lots of hot air in this episode. Although it is a rather good story mission if you like the story part of the game rather than the shoot 'em up part. Although there is that shoot 'em up part, of course. You can't have an episode without that. So let's scan this next moon. Scan moon Lilio. This moon is private property. No solicitors, beggars or Klingons allowed. These people are rude and insolent. This is a ship of the Klingon Empire. They should speak to us with more respect. Yeah, I agree 100%. If only we could blow up that moon. Continue. Now let's contact the last moon, because it's always in the last place you look. Something tells me the mine is on this moon. What's that green thing there? Is that something to scan? Yep, it's Verderon particles. So take me to Verderon City, please. If we come to a stop, scan particles, use arrow keys. Only just got that one. And finally, off to the moon. Quark wants his own moon, but he's not getting this one. Come to a stop. Hail moon. What is that? Cahol? As in alcohol? That's dyslexia for you. I can't read or pronounce anything. But I don't care. It's all for fun. Make up my own names, I do. When I can't read a word, I make up my own. Hello, my good friends. I am so happy to meet you. Perhaps you are in the market for some high-quality magnesite. We have the finest ore in the quadrant. On behalf of the miners and residents here, I'm more than happy to welcome you to our home. Please transport to the surface. Ooh, Madran. Okay. Unfortunately, the large amounts of extremely pure magnesite ore in the core of our little world will interfere with your sensors. For safety reasons, I must insist that you use the transporter signal enhancers that I have installed at my own expense. Also, I know Klingons are fond of their battle parties, but could you please restrict the number of crew you bring down to the surface? My people here aren't used to strangers, and you wouldn't want to disrupt their work, would you? Maybe that's what I'm here to do. Beam down to the surface. That means my away team. We're ready to beam down on your command, Captain. Beam down. I'm only allowed to take one away team member, and she's a tactical officer. She has a draw fire to stop people from shooting me. She's my law bait. She has suppressing fire. She has target optics, which are pretty good, and Overwatch, which increases damage. Anyway, let's chug a beer and beam to the surface. Probably patching. Ah, lovely beer. You should see the huge beer glass I'm using. If only you could. It holds 2 whole cans of alcohol. I think it's about a litre size. Big glass with a lovely handle. Nothing like a few beers and a bit of Star Trek Online. Especially on a Wednesday afternoon. I'd do it on a Saturday or a Sunday, but I work those days. So here we are on the moon Cahol, a mine, and we must talk to Madran. But shall we talk to these people first, or shall we just go straight to Madran? I think we should go straight to Madran, because talking to those people might be part of an optional later. So let us wander through the mine. What a dump! It's a very well designed set, designed to look like a slum. A crappy place to live, where people eke out a struggling, hard existence under the boot of a Ferengi profiteer. Worker demands in the... Oh, well, I couldn't read that. Pop up too quickly. There he is, the Ferengis in their lovely business suits. Oh, these ones seem to have a uniform on. So, you're the alpha of this pack of Ferengi. Alright, Madrin, talk to me. On behalf of everyone on this forsaken rock, let me be the first to welcome you to Hifhar. As you can see, we don't have time for pleasantries, and I'm not sharing my Tranya stash with you. So why don't we skip the chit-chat and get down to business? Of course, I've heard you are an excellent source of magnesite. What makes your mine better than the others in the sector? Unfortunately, I cannot call this mine my own. I'm just a middleman. Out of the goodness of my heart, I help the residents here pass on the products of their hard work to commercial entities such as yourself. The minuscule transaction fee and trade tariff I keep to offset my expenses is figured into the unit cost of the ore. My operation has become one of the best in the area because of high demand for my services from both sides. I provide the best mining equipment and supplies in the sector to the miners, while my customers get competitive pricing on the ore they need. Yeah, typical Ferengi businessman trying to pretend he's an honest guy. Do you have any more information about the mines themselves? I don't pay much attention to that. Miners have empty carts, and they return with ones filled with ore. If you're that interested, you could visit the mines themselves, but I don't recommend it. It's such a dirty place, disagreeable business. And I'm convinced that breathing ore dust for too long is terrible for you. The miners who lived near my quarters used to keep me up night after night with their dreadful coughing. I had to install soundproofing just to get some sleep. Are you sure you wouldn't rather look at the ore I have for sale? Thanks, but I'd like to talk to the miners first. Really? Suit yourself. Just remember, I have an exclusive contract to export magnesite ore from this moon. If you try to cut me out of your deals, you'll regret it. I have a few questions before we conduct any business. I'll be back when I'm done. Hey, Bilera, don't let him overhear you. These Ferengis have damn good hearing. Madran won't answer any questions about why the Remans might be targeting this place for fear of scaring us away from a possible sale. Perhaps if we ask some of the locals about what's going on here, they'll be able to provide more information. That's true. Continue. Now, I just noticed if you're hearing any banging sounds on this video, it's because my neighbours are having some decorating work done. So please excuse that. There's nothing I can really do about it, and they're entitled to get their work done. Just have to bear with it and hope it doesn't come across in the video too much. So before we question a miner, we got something to scan here. Some trionium gas. Let's use the arrow keys. Oh, wrong way. There we go. A canister of 5 canisters of trionium gas we collected there. So let's have a look on the map, and there's lots of miners for us to question, so we can find out more about this area. Ooh, the Ferengi seems to have 2 Nausicaan bodyguards. Why would he need bodyguards if he's such a good and honest man? And I believe one of these roofs, if you jump up on it, you might get an accolade. I don't know for sure, I'm just guessing, but sometimes you do get accolades for jumping up on things. Getting an overview and a perspective of the entire mine site, and look at it. Now, why did Bolera bring out the Jackal Mastiff? Look at that, I just got skill points for jumping up here. Sorry, expertise points. But it's a lovely set. I mean, there's moving parts. You can see mine carts hovering on, what is it, a magnetic monorail or something? Ooh, look at that for a scenery. That's the other moon where they said, this is a private moon. We're not interested in you. That moon needs to speak to us with more respect. Look at it looking down on us with its watchful eye. So, no accolade for climbing on the roof. Ouch! Jumping down there hurt me by 50 hit points. So, let's talk to this miner. Talk to Romulan Surveyor. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't really talk at the moment. I have to finish a survey of the area so the miners can start work on a new mine shaft. Is there anything I can do to help? What? She's willing to pick up a shovel? Nah, surely not. Come on, let's butter her up and get this Romulan Surveyor talking. As much I'd appreciate someone else to lug around this heavy equipment. It's all very delicate, and I'd only trust a capable scientist to help me. Science training is required to complete this optional objective. Ah, I get it. So talking to these miners will provide optional objectives. Some of the miners will provide objectives for science captains, some for tactical captains, and some for my type of captain, an engineer. The only optional you'll be able to play is the one for your type of captain. And my type is engineer, of course. If I encounter someone who can help, I'll send them your way. Yes, said Kermit the Frog's future big sister. It's not easy being green. Unless you're the Incredible Hulk, of course, then it's very easy. Or Shrek. Hey, why are you picking on this guy? Must I intervene? Obviously they don't want me intervening. This is obviously for tactical, to shoot and kill these guys and protect people from being bullied. And science is to survey for new mines and repair equipment. Survey for new mines. Engineering is probably repair equipment like this, but he doesn't want to talk because he hasn't got a exclamation point above his head. Yep, let's go and see what this tactical mission is all about. Not that we'd be able to do it. Talk to Romulan refugee. We don't see strangers here very often. What do you want? Continue. We could say, tell me about your life here. Tell me about Madran. Why don't you fight Madran and take back what is yours? Do you get help from the Empire? Well, let's go through each one at a time. Tell me about your life here. What can I say? We exist. I mine because there is nothing but rocks on this forsaken planet. If I am lucky, I dig enough ore to make my quota, and Madran pays me. If he pays me, I can eat and have a warm place to sleep. If we don't make our quotas, there's nothing. Even if I do have latinum, most of it goes to Madran to pay my debts, and the rest he takes in exchange for the supplies he imports. I would leave, but I owe too much to Madran to ever earn enough to buy my passage off this place. Where would I go? Tell me about Madran. Every morning the first thing I do when I wake up is curse that Ferengi's name. Madran found this moon about 2 years after the destruction of the homeworld. Most of our equipment was broken or useless, the supplies were gone and we were starving. After some negotiations, Madran has had his contacts and we had food. We were supposed to be working with him, but he is the only one who benefits from our labour. Madran owns the only working ship here, so no supplies come in without him. He negotiates all of the ore contracts, so most of the latinum goes into his pocket, and he sets the prices for food, medicine and equipment, so everyone here owes him more than we can ever repay. He owns us now. I hate him for that, but I can't live without him. Ah. Yep, sounds like Madrin is throttling his profits out of these people at their expense and his luxury. I mean, how can he afford soundproofing just to prevent himself from hearing coughing from the miners? If he can afford that, surely he can afford to pay them a little better. Why don't you fight Madran and take back what is yours? A few people tried to take Madran's ship once when he was sleeping off the Tranya he drinks. It has a biometric lock. Nothing on the ship responds to anyone but him. So what would we gain by fighting? A moon full of rocks and no one to sell them to? No food and no way to get more? No way to leave and no hope? I hate Madran, but because of him my children don't cry out in hunger or shiver from the cold. Do you get help from the Empire? The Empire? Bah! What Empire? Our Empire turned to dust with the loss of the homeworld. If you're rich or in the military, then maybe there is something. I hear that the people in Seela's shining city in the Rator system live quite well, as long as they obey her commands. For the rest of us, there is nothing but dust and regrets. So there's no more to ask him, so we just walk away, knowing who he's talking about. Seela, Tasha Yar's daughter, now leader of what remains of the Romulan Star Empire, and a Tal Shiar leader as well, and an enemy to the new Romulan Republic, which is prospering because it chooses to accept aid from allies. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Oh, is it? We're in the Romulan mystery after all. And there's something more to scan here. More trionium gas. Arrow keys. Five canisters of trionium gas. Looks like there's another miner over here that wants to talk. Talk to Romulan refugee. Jolan True, stranger. Have you always lived here? My family and I have been here all of our lives. It's a hard life, but it's all I know. My mother used to tell me tales of the homeworld. She'd talk about the plazas in Rateg, or vacations she spent with her father on the shores of the Apnex Sea. And she would tell me about my father, who gave up his place in the military evacuation ship so she could live. He never knew he had a child. She would tell me these stories, and later, when she thought I was asleep, she would cry. Ah, you poor little man with 3 scars across your face. Or is that 4 or 5? It looks like fingers. Looks like he was attacked by Freddy Krueger. Tell me about Madran. He charges us too much and pays too little. He is like everyone else in this world, out for himself. But he doesn't let us starve, and if a child needs medicine, they get it. Many here grumble and hate him, but I cannot. If I were in his position, and my life was in my hands, can I say that I would act differently than he does? So, Madran, he milks these miners as his employees for all they're worth and barely giving them enough to survive on. But he does give them enough to survive on because he doesn't want his workforce to die off. But only just enough. He squeezes all the profit he can. A typical Ferengi. You can't blame him for that, really. It's just a trait of his species. But the Romulans are suffering. What can you tell me about this area? Stay in the settlement. Don't go down into the mine, and whatever you do, don't leave this area. I do not wish you harm, stranger, and there are many dangers here. There is a group. They rule the mine. They are dangerous. Even Madran fears them. If you avoid them, they will ignore you. Defy them, and they will turn on you. Last week a good man died because he would not give them what they wanted. He was not the first. Ah, so there's a different faction here in the mine. Madran controls the workers, but in the mine there's something else going on, because even Madran said he wouldn't go down there. So Madran controls the surface and the exterior, what comes out of the mine, but someone else controls what happens in the mine, how the stuff comes out. Continue. There are many monsters on this moon that you would be wise to avoid. Outside of the settlement there are packs of wild animals. If you take a warrigal from its mother when it is very young, it can be tamed. If you wait too long, they are savage. Packs of wild warrigal roam the edges of our settlement. Often they prowl the refuge piles looking for scraps of food. A pack of warrigal can kill even a strong man. You must be careful when you are in their territory. And they are not the only monsters here. The miners tell stories about creatures made of stone who can burn you to cinders. I have not seen one of these creatures myself, but I know that many people who enter the mine do not leave it. Yes, I think I know who those stone creatures are. As Mr. Spock once said when he spoke to one of them. The pain! No kill I. Back? Did I just ask that question? I think I did. I think we're on to this one now. Have you seen anyone suspicious around here? You are the first outsider I have seen in a long time. There is no reason for anyone to want to come here. Yes, exactly. Because this place sounds like the backhole arse end of nowhere. Let's continue on, see if there's anyone else to talk to. Let's talk to this person. This person looks a bit twitchy compared to the others. Talk to bullied refugee. I can't talk to you. I can't talk to anyone. I'm on the run, and if those thugs see me talking to you, then you'll be in danger too. Is there anything I can do to help? Look at you. You're almost as scrawny as I am, and I haven't eaten in 2 days. Thanks, but I need a real fighter on my side. These guys would kill you, and I don't want your blood on my hands. Technical training is required to complete this objective. If I encounter someone who can help, I will send them your way. Excuse me. Excuse me. So that's the optional for the tactical officers, the tactical captains. As everybody knows, in Star Trek Online there are 3 types of captains you can choose to be. Tactical, science or engineer, and I chose to be an engineer on this particular character. Anyway, let's keep going and talk to this guy. Talk to a Romulan refugee. Please, have you seen my brother? Tell me about your life here. My life? My life is unimportant. It's my brother. I can't find him. Maybe I can help. How long has he been missing? I last saw him 2 days ago. Madran assigned both of us to work in the upper level of the mine. Toshin's drill bit broke, and he needed a new one. I know I should have went with him. It's not safe to be in the mine alone. Now he's gone. I seem to recall that in the Wasteland story arc, they were talking of people disappearing, and we discovered that they were being abducted to a secret base run by the Tal Shiar to have experiments done on them. And the Tal Shiar were working with a species called the Alachi. That was installation 18. Sounds like something similar is going on here. Why isn't it safe to be in the mine? There's a group of people down there who treat the mine like it's their own. I don't know why Madran tolerates them, but they make life miserable for the rest of us. They steal and they terrorize the weak. Once I saw them dragging a woman into the lower levels, and I never saw her again. She wasn't the only one. Many people have disappeared. I thought if my brother and I kept our heads down that we would be safe. But maybe they took him. Murderers! If they killed my brother, I'll kill them all! Right on! Is there anything else I should know? If you go into the mine, watch for the silver spheres. There are creatures in the dark. Devils. They are made of stone. Nothing can hurt them, and their touch burns. I have seen them moving around in the tunnels. Anywhere you see the silver spheres, the monsters are not far away. Yes, that sounds like their eggs. Okay. Who is that guy in there? Sitting underneath all of this crap. Who are you? Hey, what are you doing that for? Don't shoot me. I'm a Romulan, don't you know? No, I'm not. I'm a Klingon, sorry. The beer is starting to take its toll. Well, thank you, Balera. You killed that person for me and I didn't have to. Ah, poor person. Got killed just because they were a little traumatized and hiding away in the dark. Ah, this person seems to want to talk. Talk to drill operator. I don't have time to talk to you right now. I need to repair this drill so I can make a living. Engineering. Is there anything I can do to help? Yep, this sounds like the optional for my type of captain. An engineer. Not unless you know anything about the laser induction coils. You don't by any chance know anything about laser induction coils, do you? As a matter of fact, I do. If I ask Madran for a replacement laser induction coil, he'll charge me 100 times what it's worth. He's the only one who brings supplies to this planet. I remember when we had regular contact with the homeworld, and my brother there would send a package of sweets for my children in every transport. Now, I can't dwell on the past. My problem is this broken drill. I have to fix it, or I won't make quota. We salvage parts from old equipment, and sometimes other people here will trade components, but this requires some specific components. If you think you can help me, I will mark your map with the locations of some people who might have what we need. Continue. I will help him if I find, and it's brought up the engineering optional on the mission tracker. Aid miners in exchange for information optional. Help repair mining equipment. Talk to drill operator, which I've just did. Collect parts. So I've got to find 3 different parts to help him get his drill back online. But in the meantime I can also talk to other miners. And look, is that a warrigal? Is it wild or is it tame? And if I kill it, will it drop a reward? Hey you, warrigal. No? I can't kill you? You must be a tame one. Oh look, what's going on over there? Talk to Romulan refugee. You're an outsider here. Why should I trust you? I could give this spare part to someone who really needs it. Tell me this, how do you avoid breaking your drill bits when you hit a pocket of magnesite? Hang on a minute, what's going on with this wobbling up and down? It's either I don't know, or use water to decrease the friction. That's a trick question. Cool the drill bit, heat the drill bit, release gas pressure by venting the drill bit, increase rotational speed, slow the rotational speed, use a diamond tip drill, use water to decrease the friction. I think it's to use the water one. Wrong. I'll have to do better than that to win over my trust. Captain, this soil doesn't look like it would... Well, that didn't help me. May I try again? How do you avoid breaking your drill bits when you hit a pocket of magnesite? Release gas pressure, increase rotational speed, slow the rotational speed, use diamond tip drill bit, use water to decrease friction. That's a trick question. Wrong. You'll have to do better than that. Perhaps we should consider an answer dealing with mechanics and usage of drill instead. May I try again? Ah, we got it. It's 2 of them. Release gas pressure and increase drill speed. Correct. You obviously know your way around this equipment. I'm sorry, I thought you were just another one of Madran's lackeys. He controls every second of our lives. I can't work without him, and I can't eat without buying the food from him. So the pitiful wages he pays just end up back in his pocket. Take the part you need. We miners need to stick together. Thank you. So I did get 1 part, but it took me 3 goes to do it. Who's this person? Talk to Ray. Ray? Did you need something? What are you doing here? It's a long story. After the destruction of Romulus, I joined a group of colonists looking for a new place to settle. We chose to form a new agrarian community on Virinet, a pastoral world on the edge of Romulan space. Our colony was attacked and destroyed. I managed to evade the attackers and get off-world with a small group of people. My luck ran out here, and I've been stuck here ever since. Ah, we all know that world, Virinet. It's part of the tutorial for the Romulan characters, because there are 3 factions. There's Klingon, Federation and Romulan, but Romulans are sort of a factionless and they have to choose between the Klingons or the Federation, and their tutorial has the what's it called, the Virinet system in it. I think that all Romulan characters come from the Virinet system, actually, all Romulan captains, if memory serves, but I'm not sure because I got beer. What kind of work do you do? I'm a biochemist by trade. I specialise in what? Hemocyanin, a division of hematology working with copper-based blood. On Virinet, I handled a lot of issues related to food compatibility and local biochemistry. These days I mostly handle minor medical issues and nutritional deficiencies for the people living here. I've managed to stay out of debt, but I can't afford passage off this moon, and I don't know how long that will last. Have you heard of anything strange locally? Well, before I ask that question, it seems to me that if she knows about food compatibility and stuff, she could maybe provide a food source for these people other than Madran's imports. We just need to get Madran out the way so that she can. Have you heard of anything strange locally? This whole mining facility is nothing but strange. That Ferengi Madran rides everyone hard to make a profit, but just when it looks like things will get too bad, he turns around and does something generous. Yeah, he doesn't want his workforce to die. Folks have occasionally disappeared, and not by leaving on a ship. People here for weeks or months will suddenly vanish. People talk about seeing strange things or being kept out of parts of the mine by the guards. There's something deeper in those mines, I'm sure of it. I'm done talking to you. And if you bear with me for 2 shakes, I've got to go AFK to grab some beer because I need more. Well, I've got my beer. That's my first 2 cans of beer drank, and now I've got my next 2 ready. Back at the keyboard now, and let's see if there's anyone else around here to talk to. Do you ever want to work in these mines again? Some of these Romulans are wearing uniforms, or what looks like uniforms, rather than just mining clothes. Or is it just that Romulan society has a very limited fashion sense? Alright, let's keep walking around. Let's go to the back alley. Cool, that sounded rude. There's nothing round here, is there? No, but that looked like a warrigal just poked his head over the top there. But we're not going there just yet. We don't want to provoke too much confrontation or I might die, and nobody wants to die. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. It's your choice. Yep, that's the tactical mission. Nope, I thought I saw something there, but obviously not. I could be wandering around here for ages doing this, but that's fine. I'm enjoying the story. Worker demands in the Malaysia sector have caused... Well, couldn't read that bubble, that chat bubble. These Ferengi are living in luxury off the backs of these miners. Ah, there's someone over there who looks like an engineering optional thingy. Talk to Romulan refugee. I have a few spare parts. I'm sure I have what you need to get the drill working again. Thank you. Well, that was easy. She obviously knows superior intelligence when she sees it. Hee. Let's go back to this person. Maybe now this person is willing to talk. No, that's the science optional, whereas I recall. So we've got to find the remaining engineering optional. Who's this standing here in the middle? Stop chasing me! Oh, I'll chase you. I'll chase you because you might drop a reward. You'll never catch me. Wanna bet? Gotcha. Don't hurt me. I don't have the latinum now, but I can. Oh, Madran didn't send you. You're here to break my kneecaps. Are you here to send you here to break my kneecaps? Madran didn't send you here to break my kneecaps. Continue. I have a daughter in the Ratha system. I thought I could contact her to send me some latinum, but Madran won't let me use the subspace array. You see, I owe him some money, and I didn't make my quota last month because I was sick and... But that's life, isn't it? All you can do is try to hang on to whatever you have left. I'll give you my part. I'll give you the part you need. Take it, and I hope it solves your problem. Why, thank you. And I hope I can solve yours in return. So I've got all three parts, and now I can return to the drill operator. Unless I climb up on some of these roofs, you never know, there might be one that will give an accolade. No, but there is I like that, the floaters going over the conveyor. That's a good touch for this set. We didn't find that person's brother. Let's have a look at some of these people. Maybe not. Maybe we never will. What if we climb up here? Go right past that drill person and climb up here. Is there an accolade to be had? Nope. I'm sure once I climbed up on a roof and got an accolade around here. Oh, there's two conveyors. Anyway, let's complete the engineering optional. Talk to drill operator. Thank you. With these parts I can fix this drill and get back to work. I need to make my quota today or Madran will cut my pay again. I already owe him so much latinum. I don't know how I'll ever repay it. He brings in food and supplies that we need, but the prices are so high. I remember the dark days after we lost Romulus. There were no supply shipments for months. I had to listen to my children cry because they were so hungry. I might spend the rest of my life in debt, but I have a life. To answer your question though, I don't know what makes this mine different from the other mine. The magnesite isn't any different. Maybe there are some veins with less impurities in the lower levels of the mine. I wouldn't know. There's a group of thugs who keep everyone away from those areas, and I won't risk a beating just to satisfy my curiosity. If you want to risk checking it out, that's your business. Accolade complete, Drill Doctor. Return to Madran. Well, that person is looking for something. That's Madran. Drill operator, Romulan refugee, Romulan refugee, Romulan refugee. I don't think we're going to find that person's brother anywhere, because we've spoken to everyone now, I believe. Let's talk to him again. Talk to bullied refugee. Now we've read all this. That's the tactical mission. So all we can really do is go back to Madran, because we haven't found that person's brother. Talk to Madran, as the mission tracker says. You want to go into the mine? Are you really interested in buying any magnesite, or are you just here to cause trouble? Because if it's the latter, I know someplace you can start a little ruckus. There's a gang that controls the bottom levels of the mine. They won't even let me in there. Previously, I allowed them to keep their little kingdom in exchange for information, but lately they've been more trouble than they're worth, and the intel they're feeding me is useless. Honestly, who doesn't know about the Breen invasion of Death-Free Space? What? Me? I don't know about it. Well, I do, but not on this character. Because this character hasn't got to that part of the story yet. My other characters have. I will take that information to heart. Investigate the restricted area of the mine. So, all that's left to do is go into the mine, explore the magnesite mine. However, that's the mine. Querying the quarry. Let's go follow that circle though, because that might be something else. Oh, it's that person. Maybe his story leads into the mine, but it's the tactical objective, so he can't do it. Or is there something else around here that I'm missing? I'll just have a quick run around before I enter the mine to see. Nope, there's nothing here. So let's go to the mine. If I can find the shortcut in. Maybe I'm missing something because my memory isn't that good, but oh well. Now we can finally enter the magnesite mine, but before we do, I've got to pour my next beer out, so bear with me. Right, the next 2 cans into that lovely big glass. This episode is going on a bit long. By the time I've finished it, I'm probably going to be a little tipsy. So who knows how I'm going to go through the rest of the story arc in the other videos. If I choose to make them today, that is. But I'm in a good kind of mood for this. Yep. I like me a bit of Star Trek Online and a bit of beer. Don't worry, I don't go nuts on the beer. I'm not that type. I just like a drink once a week, maybe twice on particularly tough weeks, like this week. Right, my beer's all ready, and we can enter the magnesite mine with this waltz and all recording of this episode. All my videos are kind of waltz and all recordings though, because it's a waste of time trying to do proper professional recordings when you can't record in anything other than low res. Okay, explore the mine. Ah, something to scan. Titanium ore in a magnesite mine. Use the arrow keys. I seem to recall that there's an area in this mine where you get ambushed and die if you haven't upgraded your weapons from previous episodes, which I haven't done. Eek. Luckily I've got those Herald kit modules on a Terran kit. I don't know why, but they seem to work well. Not that I've tried them on the proper kit. So, explore the mine. Optional. Talk your way past the Romulan guard or kill the Romulan guard. Well, let's try talking first because we're not uncivilized. What do you want? I'd like to enter this area or for you to get out of my way. Well, the peaceful option. This area is restricted. Only people my friends and I like may enter, and I don't like you. Maybe you've got to know me a little better. You'd learn to like me, or I wonder if you'd like my weapons. Use the diplomatic one. You don't belong here. I'm done talking with you. Leave now or suffer the consequences. It's been a pleasure wasting my time with you, so we have to kill him. Ah, the optional's still alive. We might get a second shot at talking our way past him. Let's try the other entries then. For you to get out of my way. Stop! So, it's kill. Normally when someone throws a mine and I get those little red things around me, everyone knows you must get out the way of the red. But I can't when I'm recording video because of the lag. Well, at least that's my excuse for when I get killed. Defeat hostile Romulans. Okay. Let's defeat the hostile Romulans. Let's make it easy, shall we? See that portal to the sun? See, up here I've opened up a portal to the sun. It's like if you ever watched Farscape and John Crichton's wormhole weapon, where he kills a Scarran dreadnought. That's what that portal's like. Well, we've defeated the hostile Romulans. Now we must examine the campsite. So let's look around and see what we can see. There's no crates with stuff in it for us to pick up. Oh, examine campsite is a prompt that you have to press. And what makes me think that is a false door? Examine campsite. Captain, there are a series of pressure plates located in this area. They're low tech, but the Romulans may have had to resort to outdated security measures because of interference from the magnesite veins in this cavern. The problem is that the magnesite is making our tricorders almost useless. If there is anything on this moon that the Remans would want to eliminate badly enough to use Phaleron weapons, it has to be here. Continue. We're going to have to figure out how to use the pressure plates to reveal whatever the Romulans are trying to hide. I suspect that we need to activate 2 of them to open the door. Yes, this is a little puzzle. Lifeform not detected on alternate pressure plate. You have to stand on them both at the same time, I believe. And you can't be in 2 places at once, so you have to use your bridge officer and make your bridge officer stand on one of them. Which means set a rally point for your bridge officer, which is right on top of one of them. Nope, missed. Oh no, it changed colour, so it's close enough. And I go on to this one, and that's changed colour. This reminds me of the next Breen invasion, where you have to set tones to break a code in the preserver chamber, but still, that's another story. Lock in position coordinates. Coordinates locked. Open hidden door. Oh, and looky here, what have we found? Let's release that officer from her rally point so that she will follow us. This looks like a hidden base, just like Installation 18 on Nimbus 3.
I give the orders here, Commander.
It's a cave!
You are out of line.
He attacked us in a fleet!
There's a difference between protecting the Empire from her enemies and
There
provoking
is much here you do not understand, Jamek. The Remans need to know their place. As do you. I will not forget your insubordination, Commander. The Tal Shiar has no place for officers who cannot follow orders. I'll be in the command center.
Colonel, they were civilians! Their blood is on our hands!
Get used to it. There will be more. Speaking of which, why don't you clean out the brig before you become a resident there?
Ooh, dissension in the ranks. That is Hakeev. I don't like him. He attacked me in a fleet of ships on Nimbus 3. We defeated his fleet, but his ship got away. Find a commander's access code. Well, the only way to do that is to kill everyone. The analysts in this room... Alright then. I never spot them things in time to read them. So let's just kill everyone in this room, eh? So we can find a commander's access code, and they won't attack until they consider me a threat. They're like the Borg. Why does it target the wrong people? These aren't soldiers, they're analysts. They don't know any better. This is a very text-heavy storyline episode. But it's good because it gets the story out of the way so you can do all the shooting later. Right, let's have a look at these consoles. Read logs on the True Way activity. Read logs on True Way activity. True Way is that Cardassian terrorist group, the equal and opposite to the Maquis. No, hang on a minute. No, that's not right. Well, let's read and find out and see what's right. Listing post Hepaphytus. Someone's got a disease. I wrote this. Observed from holofeed on Cardassia Prime. Ah, yes, it is Cardassia then. The Taba Council petitions Federation to fund Lacarian city infrastructure projects. 47 injured in bombing at University of Kulat. True Way claims responsibility for attack. The Tapa Council passes bill allowing Cardassian government to seize assets of persons convicted of terrorist activity. Councillor Marim Okanda resigns. Starfleet sending advisors to Cardassia Prime to advise government on security issues. Councillor Ivala introduces resolution calling for Cardassia to apply for Federation membership. Bill stalls in committee. Ministry of Trade extends agreements with Ferengi to market Cardassian-made transport vessels and phaser banks. Continue. Interesting. I like the view screens with the different pictures on them. Some really good pictures, but this is obviously a big spy installation, spying on different systems with satellite probes or something. I mean, that picture is probably something to do with Cardassia. And this picture is something to do with Borg activity. Read logs on Borg activity. This should be interesting. The Tashav links with the Borg. Observed from captured holo recordings in the Delta Quadrant. Resistance is futile. Continue. Well, that told me a lot. Obviously the Romulans aren't as far along with their Borg technology experiments as they seemed. Read logs on the Klingon Empire activity. That's my empire. I'm very interested in this one. They should not be spying on my empire. Observed from hollow feeds on Cronus. They're actually on Cronus. Chancellor Jumpok facing increasing challenges from members of the High Council loyal to House of Martok. Really? Martok was an honourable man. Alliance between House of Jumpok and House of Doras is weak. Situation is highly exploitable. Recommend we seek agents on Cronus. House of Doras? How could he align himself with the House of Doras? Many members of discommendated House of Torg have been absorbed into House of Doras. Oh, the Chancellor is surrounded by his enemies, and he doesn't even know it. But then we did suspect the Chancellor was a bit less than honourable in the tutorial. KDF leadership angered by High Council's mandate to work more closely with Klingon intelligence. Fekleri forces in region massing under new leadership. Melanie Dian seen entering home of Drex, son of Martok. Gorn push for a representative on High Council rejected. Now those are interesting snippets of information the Romulans have gathered. It's hard to decide what's worse. I mean, Melanie Dian entering House of Martok, Chancellor Jumpok allied with the House of Doras, which is accepting people from the discommendated House of Torg. Read logs on Starfleet activity. Ooh. A spy on them. Observed from captured holofeed in Earth space dock. Captain Sulu has applied for transfer to the front lines of Klingon conflict. Captain Sulu is actually Hikaru Sulu's grandson. As you remember in Star Trek Generations, Captain Hikaru Sulu's daughter worked on the Enterprise B, and her son is Captain Sulu of Star Trek Online. Or at least that's my imagination on it. That's how I imagine it. Admiral Quinn under medical care for heart condition. Intercepted Starfleet medical records indicate that the condition is fully treatable and not a substantial target for exploitation. 7th Fleet entered neutral zone as part of a routine series of exercises. Yeah, right. Franklin Drake heading extended operation in Eta Iridani. Yep, he's that one who spies on the Klingons and does a lot of Section 31 crap. Starfleet Command considering new tactics in conflicts with True Way. Right, the True Way, I seem to recall them as both a Cardassian terrorist group and a group that wants to restore Earth to humans and get rid of all the alien influences. But I could be mistaken. My memory isn't too clear on the True Way. Starfleet intelligence concerned with rise in war profiteering by independent Ferengi and Docterians. Well, that's all 4 consoles on the upper level read, and no commander's access codes. So what about this console? 2 consoles. Read logs on Romulan Empire activity. They're spying on their own kind, or is this just reports? Observed from hollow feed on Raptor 3. Increased power use in Royal Palace indicates that lower levels may be in use. Senator Shemek is accepting bribes in exchange for slowing progress on trade agreements. Herodian representatives meet with Sealer. Riemann representative removed from Senate chamber. Opposition leader Tetan assassinated. 3 reunification proponents arrested. Agents for Sealer meet with True Way leaders near Badlands. Oh, that's a bad alliance about to form. Continue. Read logs on the Taudui activity. Observed from live intelligence in Republic space. Oh, they know about the Romulan Republic. Archaeological activity indicates that a recent excavation has revealed an unexpected high-value find. Attempts to capture colonists of putative Morihan meeting with resistance from mixed forces. Morihan is the new Romulan homeworld for the Romulan Republic. It's New Romulus, Morihan is. Federation Starbase 234 engaging in defensive training exercises. Long-range social destabilization of Akamarian culture underway. Folian activity correlated with temporal anomalies near Azor Nebula. Yes, we know all about that. Cloaked assets monitoring construction of listing posts in Duret system. Continue. Now, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I must go AFK again for a little personal break. 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back from my 30-second personal break, and I hope you didn't hear it. Yes, it's easier to go AFK for 30 seconds to get a beer or something like that than it is to pause the video, because if I pause the video, then that means I end up with 2 video files, one before the pause and one after the pause, that I have to edit together after recording. And editing together makes the resolution even worse than what it already is, and it's pretty bad as it is. Right, that would obviously be the console with the commander's codes, I would assume, but there's another console around here with information to read. Read logs on listing post Hephaestus activity. Observed from hollow holofeed in listening post to Thetis. That's the listening post that has been doing all this spying. Janek is fighting with Hakiv again. Hakiv takes shuttle and leaves base for 2 days. Long-range sensors mark his progress in neutral zone. 6 miners held for questioning. Chief Medical Officer reports 2 cases of Levodian flu. 6 encrypted messages sent from Colonel Hakiv's console to unknown recipient. Recommend that transmissions be investigated further. He's probably talking to Sela. Although I wouldn't be too sure if he wants to maybe defeat Sela. Or maybe he's talking to the Iconians. Oops, was that a spoiler? Continued. Now there's no other consoles that I've missed. Doesn't look like it. And before we go to that console over there, let's go to the circled room and see what's in here. This is the cell block where that person arguing with Hakiv is.
But I have my own neck to worry about. I'll be joining you in there soon enough. If Hakiv has his way, we all will.
This should be interesting. I mean, we've just absorbed a lot of text information. Find a commander's access code. Ah, she's a commander. Let's kill her. I wonder, can we talk to these prisoners? No, we can't. But we might be able to release them. Open cells. Open cells. Open cells. Maybe if we free these prisoners, they might help us to defeat that commander. Hang on. Where's that other prisoner? There it is. Captured miners. Oh. So this is the disappeared miners. One of them might be the brother of that guy who's been looking for his brother. Now let's get this code from this hard to kill Romulan. Oh, obviously not so hard to kill as I remember. I thought I saw something about a code up there. Get Commander Janek's access code, talk to Commander Janek, kill Commander Janek. So we've got a choice. We can but just talk to her or kill her. Talk to Commander Janek.
Enough! I surrender. I value my life more than the Tal Shiar's secrets. I'll tell you anything you want to know. But first you must tell me why you are here and what you want.
Ha! Loyalty doesn't mean much in the Tal Shiar. Why does the Riemann Resistance want to destroy this base?
The Riemans know about this base? Impossible. Only the leadership of the Tal Shiar know we're here. The Empress herself couldn't find us. I don't believe you. But it makes no difference. This is not a military installation. We listen and record here, nothing more. There are many targets those Riemann scum would find much more tempting.
Enough of these lies.
Are you sure you want to end things like this?
In other words, we're not allowed to use the other option. Yes! We've got to kill her. And we just did. We've got her access codes now. Find the base's control room. And the miners are backing us up, 4 of them. Now the base's control room is that way, but if memory serves, there is an accolade through here. There's also some things to read. We don't want to leave any stone unturned on these playthrough videos. Access console. Ensign Krymin is dead. Hakiv ordered him to explore the tunnels. We found organic remains and his fully discharged disruptor was nearby. He looked like he had been melted. I think we should wall off this section of the mine and not disturb the creature down here. 6 people have already died. 5 were miners and therefore expendable, but Kryman showed promise. I know that in time he would have been a fine officer. I've asked Colonel Hakiv to request reinforcements. If he's determined to kill people exploring this mine, let him kill recruits. Well, that was very charming and pleasant. Access console. We were drilling near when we broke through a wall into a chamber that hadn't appeared on our scans. Blasted magnesite, it blocks anything, sensors, tricorders, they're all useless. Excuse me. The chamber is large and should be suitable for expansion of the base. There were several spherical orbs in it. We have yet to determine the nature of these orbs, but Janet thinks they are pretty. She kept one for her quarters. I've asked for permission to study the orbs. They remind me of a Federation report I read once. I can't remember the details, but it was something about the Janus system. Continue. Yes, we all know that report. It was made by Mr. Spock and the Pain. I can't remember the name of the episode though, but it was set in an underground mine. Yep, those are the orbs. The eggs. Oh, and there's a burnt out well, burnt to nothing type person, and that is the picture that is used to show this episode. Anyway, scan titanium ore. Four chunks of titanium ore. What's this? Scan hole. It's a scan hole. This hole is tunneled through solid magnesite. It's too precise to be one of the mining tunnels, and there is a slight trace of silicon residue. Curious, Captain. There are not many creatures that could do something like this. Yes, a silicon-based life form. Very rare, but theoretically possible. Another one of them. Romulans! Kill 'em! Kill 'em! Kill the dishonourable sons of Targs! Oh, look, there it goes! There goes the rock creature. Hey, you! Communicate with Horta. No kill I! No kill I! This message is burned deep into the floor of the chamber. Acid sizzles around the edges of the letters. Accolade! No kill I! We got it. We got the accolade. And that accolade will allow us to take the reward that this episode gives. The reward of a Horta pet. A non-combat pet that will follow you around when you're not in combat. If you want it to. I wonder if we've got it already and we can put it on our character. I wonder. Let's have a look. No, we don't get it till the episode is over. Oh well. Now we can go back, now that we've communicated with the Horta and got the accolade. And we can go into the rest of the base. Unlock door. That was easy. Hey! Die! 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 I found if you run towards an enemy or move towards them, you do more damage. The damage increases with every step you get closer to them. Or at least that's just a theory. The more bold you are, the more daring you are, the more damage you do. And I'm covered in nanites. And I haven't got that thing that removes them. There's more over there. Kill 'em. Kill 'em. Come on, miners. Help out. Don't wait for me. Where's Bolera? Oh, she's up there with him, isn't she? Yes, she is, and she's using her target optics. Where are the other miners? Did they die? Deeper into the Tal Shiar hidden spy base. And Akeev himself is here! Akeev himself is here!
How did you find this place? What
We looked.
else do you know? No matter. You won't be revealing anything to your superiors. It's disappointing I cannot give you a proper interrogation. But I have much to do and little time. The self-destruct sequence has begun. This base will be your tomb.
Ah, he beamed away. I couldn't capture him. But the force field is down. Download Tal Shiar records quickly. Now escape the mine before it goes kablooey. Run, run, run. Excuse me. Whoa, it's getting hairy in here. We've got to get out of here. We're going to run. Run, run. I'm scared. This place blows. It will surely burst through me nickel elastic. Take lift to surface. Confront Madran about the Tal Shiar base. Yep, we really screwed over that mine. And where's my opposite? There she is, that's good. I think she deserves a promotion after this, but unfortunately she's promoted as far as she can go. If only I could give her her own ship. Give her her own ship. So Madran, what do you got to say for yourself? My mine? What have you done to my mine? A choice of responses. There was an infestation of Tal Shiar spies in there. I just fumigated. Or, I didn't do anything. It was the Tal Shiar cell you were sheltering. I don't think he was sheltering the Tal Shiar cell. I think he just was forced to allow their presence. So let's go easy on him. I mean, he doesn't kill his workforce. He's only doing what typical Ferengi does, and that's profiteering. Tal Shiar? I am shocked. I had no idea. I certainly wouldn't have sent you down there if... Say, you didn't happen to find anything valuable down there, did you? Because if you did, remember that I have an exclusive contract. Stop with the lies, Madran. I know you knew who and what was down there. And what's it to you? This is a rough area of the quadrant, you know. And they're good neighbours if you're not easily embarrassed. Their cameras and listening devices are everywhere. I haven't had a single problem with Orions or Herodians since they moved in. And it doesn't hurt that I acquired the odd bit of information here and there. I'm a businessman, and information is big business. Do you know anything about what they recently discovered? Unfortunately, no. I'll admit I was trying to find out, but their systems were locked down tight. I'm sure whatever it was had to be big news. Everyone was on edge. Janik and Hakeem were barely speaking, and I once heard Hakeem mumbling something about orders. Someone's been pulling his strings, but I don't know who. I do know the Tal Shiar take security very seriously. If you manage to pull any files from their system, you can expect them to be heavily encoded. Trust me on that. I speak from experience. Continue. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go talk 100 Romulan into digging a new mine to replace the one you destroyed. My profit margin for this month is ruined. So I've got a choice of two responses. You've been a real help, Madrid, or treat those miners well, Madrid, or I'll be back. Okay, we'll do that one. Madrid doesn't seem to know much, Captain, or at least he's not willing to part with what information he knows without being paid. I don't think he can help us anymore. We should return to the ship and try our luck at decrypting the files we recovered from the Tal Shiar. I'm sure that they will be more useful than anything Madran has to say. Yep, those files we retrieved from Hakiv's console just before he beamed out and the mine was set to self-destruct. We've got to decode them. Go to your ready room or conference room and decrypt the Tal Shiar files. To reach your ready room or conference room, first exit the system. When you are in sector space, click the down arrow on the right of your minimap and select Visit Bridge. Well, I knew that already. Return to ship. You have completed all objectives in this area. Do you want to beam up to the ship? Okay. And I could have scanned some more, but I didn't. I seem to recall a mission, a part of this mission, an optional with the Roricals and a crashed ship out in the plains beside the town. Anyway, we've beamed up to our ship and it looks like we've automatically left the system, even if we are drowned out a bit by the sun. Let's move a bit out the way of that glare from the sun. So the next objective for this mission is decipher Tal Shiar files in your ready room, which means clicking this little arrow here on your mini map and choosing visit bridge. Would you like to leave your current location and visit your starship bridge? Oh, of course I would. We get to take another look at the Kalis Bridge. Not the Kalis Bridge, sorry, the Bortescue Bridge. That's the one. The three-leveled bridge. The huge bridge that came with the ship. You didn't have to. You didn't even have to buy it as a separate, as an additional. The three-level bridge with its own little viewport platform out the front that lets you see the nacelles on the side, but not the pattern you painted it. And you can't even see the sun from that solar system we just left. But for now we have to run past our little Targ pets that are leaving their droppings all over the bridge, past all our officers, to our ready room, so we can decrypt the files. How do we do that? We access library files. Please input query. Decipher Tal Shiar files HIFAR. 5 files uploaded. Fervor communication file. Plethora communication file. Precedence personal file. Reciprocity unknown file type. Referendum communication file. Well, I'm going to chug a beer because this might take some time. Although this episode has been a very long one so far. Favor. File Favor. Activities of note in Klingon space. Emperor Kalis has been spotted in Breen space. Chancellor Jumpuck has a potential adversary in Jarod. The House of Torg was bought before the High Council for commendation by the House of Martog. The Focus Free Batlift tournament has a new champion. Yeah, that's me! I won champion standing while representing the House of Martog, with Worf at my side. That was previous stories. Analyze file structure, cross-reference with Klingon intelligence records. Select new file, cross-reference with Klingon intelligence records. Inaccuracy found. The House of Torg lost its seat on the High Council after evidence was revealed that House leaders collaborated with Romulan something or others. So, change faulty information. Please specify change to be made. Commendation acts of treason. Change made. Updates detected in another file. Reciprocity. Open reciprocity. More by Lobortis. Morby. Labortus. Present Porter Elit Quis Est. I ain't gonna read any of that crap. What is that, Spanish or French or something? I don't know. Maybe even German. I would guess Esperanto. I don't know. Haven't a clue. Apply passkey. Updated passkey applied. Detected in, listening, detected, ships, the, communications, patterns, employed, Shah, Tausha, civilians, crew, of, the, officer for, the, vessel, could, encrypted, the, messages, base, being, the, Shah, and. Select new file. Seems to want me to open precedents, but I would have gone for plethora. File plethora. Notable activities in United Federation of Planets. Federation Embassy established on Defra Prime. Federation Council extends aid to Cardassia Prime and agrees to continue Defense Pact. Klingon/Federation peace talks disrupted on Regulus. What is that? Regulus 6? 5? I don't know Roman numerals. Vulcan Ambassador Sokev retires to monastery on Pijam. Cross-reference with Klingon intelligence records. Inaccuracy found. Klingon forces raided the monastery at Pijam and exposed Ambassador Sokev as an Undine infiltrator. I remember that. That's from the tutorial. Or from an earlier story. Change faulty information. Please specify change to be made. Ambassador Sokev, Ambassador Worf retires to exposed at. Pijam Riser retires to exposed at. Vulcan Ambassador Sokev exposed as at Monastery of Pijam. Open recipe. Apply passkey. More unlocked words. So now we select a new file and go to precedents. Chain of command for Tausha listing post Hephaestus Hifa. Commanding officer Commander Hakeeb. Executive officer Commander Janik. Chief medical officer Lieutenant Livok. Chief engineering officer Lieutenant Taurus. Cross-reference of Klingon intelligence. There is no reference document with which to compare this information in Klingon intelligence. I suspected as much because they didn't know about the base until we went there. So let's select a new file. We've already tried reciprocity, but let's try it again. That's the one we're trying to undo. So select a new file. Let's go to referendum. File referendum. Notable actions in Romulan Senate. Senate votes to give Emperor Sela power to override rulings of imperial courts. Ambassador Jirok visits Andoria. Reman rebels attack transports in. Is that Iota or Itola or Latola Pavonis? Senate ratifies new tax on dilithium. Cross-reference with Klingon reference intelligence. Inaccuracy found. Klingon intelligence. No record of Ambassador Jirok visiting Andoria. Change faulty information. Andoria Vulcan. Andoria Cronus. Andoria Wolf 359. Let's do Andoria Vulcan because Ambassador might have been Vulcan. Open file reciprocity. I don't think it worked. Apply passkey. It came close. Now analyze file structure. The file is encrypted using a multivariable passkey that references the other files uploaded, Fever, Prefos and all that. Select a new file. Let's go through precedence again. Analyze file structure. Partial number sequence found in officer ID numbers. The sum of the previous two file is referenced by another. By another what? Change faulty information. Please specify change to be made. File was referenced by another file. So it could be any one of these, and we just got to go through them all instead of having to look it up. And we got it first time. Open reciprocity? No, we didn't. Or maybe we did. Apply passkey. Yes, we did. We got it. We got it first time. File. Reciprocity. Secret Riemann base detected in the DERA system. Listing post Hephaestus has detected an increase in subspace communication and ships travelling to and from the DERA system. Analysis of the communications and ship traffic reveals a pattern of obfuscation normally employed by Romulan forces. Tal Shiar forces then intercepted a ship leaving the DERA system and captured 47 Riemann civilians. The passengers and crew were summarily executed under orders of Colonel Hakiv. But they were civilians! But the captain and first officer were preserved for questioning. So the captain and first officer weren't killed. Under interrogation, the captain of the Riemann vessel provided a security key that could be used to decipher encrypted communications sent to the DERA system. The decrypted messages prove that there is a base in this area of space being used by the Riemann resistance. So the Tal Shiar found a Riemann base, and so have we now. Recommend Tal Shiar's ship should be sent to the DERA system immediately to capture this base and its inhabitants. Now, if I remember rightly, the commander from this episode that we just played was arguing with Hakiv about killing civilians. I think they were referring to one of these captured ships. To this captured ship that Tal Shiar acquired, that gave them information about this system. So there's a Riemann base here, and the Tal Shiar know about it, but they haven't acted on it yet. But their act is imminent. They're about to act on it. It's imminent. We need to decide if we want to warn the Riemanns that the Tal Shiar are coming for them. Exit. The Tal Shiar is planning an attack on a Riemann base. We need to get this information to Mek in the Great Hall on Cronus immediately, before the Tal Shiar actually do launch their attack. We should help the Riemanns resist the Tal Shiar. They could one day become a valuable ally if they can achieve their freedom. Continue. Mine enemy. Return to Mek in the Great Hall of Cronus. Okay. A very text-heavy episode, but I think it's great. It's a brilliant episode. Lots of storyline to absorb, and lots of things to think about, and food for thought. So we leave the ship interior now and head to Cronus. So we can close out the mission and perhaps the video. We've got to get to Cronus quickly. And
Obisek is justified in his anger. The Tal Shar records you recovered from their listening post indicate that they have been tormenting the Remans for months. Their bases have been attacked, their ships destroyed, and their families killed or imprisoned. There is no more honorable reason to pick up a blade than to defend your home and family. However, Obisek was willing to use Thaleron weapons to destroy a handful of Tal Shiar operatives. Using a hammer to swat a globfly is not the warrior's way. It is madness.
so we didn't have to go to the Great Hall, because he hailed us instead. He couldn't wait for his report. You will receive the following awards: skill points, expertise, dilithium ore, Horta hatchling non-combat pet. Well, I will do that because that will close out the mission. But before I do that, I will tell you that in our next video we will be playing the episode Frozen. A tricky political situation must be resolved with quick thinking and a deal that could backfire. That episode is saved for the next video. This was the second episode of 6 episodes in the story arc called Romulan Mystery. This episode was called Mine Enemy. The next one is called Frozen. So, collect reward. And we're not going to do Frozen right now. We're going to do it in the next video. So,
We know from the information you recovered.
we just said we weren't going to do it till the next video. So, our rewards. There's the Horta. Must be equipped when I'm on the ground. Just a few little bits. Mostly scannable stuff. And a little bit of dilithium ore. Not much for that episode, but it was a damn good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed playing it. But now it's over. So it's time for me to say goodbye. This is Alt Lexington reporting from Meriki Revenge Fleet, saying enjoy your gaming and goodbye.